stage at the All-Star Game. Mike Piazza played in this Midsummer Classic back in 1992 for Albuquerque. The next up-and-coming Dodger is Paul Konerko, soon to be hitting homers in L.A. Greg Maddux is known for his craftiness, his great location helping save the Atlanta Braves time and time again. Not unlike the stuff of Boston Red Sox savior Brian Rose. The Stars of Tomorrow shoot through the Iowa night tonight, coming up on the Deuce. Live from Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines, Iowa, ESPN2 proudly presents exclusive coverage of the AAA All-Star Game. Tonight, the Stars from the American League meet the Stars from the National League. Hi, everyone. This is Dave Ryan. Welcome to Des Moines, Iowa's capital city. And tonight, we're in for a big treat. Some of the best minor league baseball talent will be on display. Some of these guys will be in the big leagues before you know it. We're also following a big story involving realignment with the 3 leagues in minor league baseball. The American Association, the PCL, and the International League will be completely reconfigured. We'll talk about that throughout the broadcast tonight. But we know we'll see some great offense like that of Paul Konerko from Albuquerque. Also, some pretty good pitching. With our starters for tonight's game, let's go to Jim Rooker.
Brian Rose, Dave Schwartzbaugh. And out of respect, we'll start with age before beauty here. But to me, Dave, the real interesting thing about you is 9 years in the Chicago Cubs organization. You've been there a couple of times, but you're still there. You're leading the American Association in earned run average. So tonight, you get a chance to showcase yourself a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be very special for me because it's my 9th year, and this is my first All-Star appearance, and I get to start here in front of my home crowd. So it's going to be extra special.
What about some of the scouts in the stands?
I know there's going to be a lot of scouts here, and I'm just going to try to go out and throw strikes and just do the best I can.
Well, good luck to you tonight. On the other side, the youngster here, Brian Rose. Brian, last year, in fact, you've kind of climbed up through the system. You've already tied your career high in wins, 12 this year. It looks like Boston needs pitching. How far away do you think you are?
Well, I'm just looking forward to going out tonight and, you know, putting in a solid 2 innings and representing the Pawtucket team and the state of Rhode Island and Massachusetts. I just want to have fun and go out there and then hopefully get 2 quick innings and get our team back in the batter's box.
Good luck to you as well. Dave?
Jim, thanks very much. Coming up, the starting lineups for tonight's AAA All-Star Game from Des Moines when we come back. The hottest ticket in town, Des Moines, Iowa, Sec Taylor Stadium. Welcome back, everyone, to ESPN2's presentation of the AAA All-Star Game. Dave Ryan alongside Jim Rooker. Big crowd on hand tonight, and a beautiful night for baseball. Over 10,800 capacity expected here at Sec Taylor. 72 degrees, a slight chance of rain. Wind is blowing out to left field, so it may see some home run balls in tonight's game. Well, out to throw out the first pitch tonight. In addition to the mayor, Robert Ray from Des Moines, who at one time served as the governor of this state for 4 consecutive terms. We'll also see the current governor of the state of Iowa, Terry Branstad. Let's see what kind of fastball he's got. Big windup here, Jim.
Well, you notice he put a little more into his thoughts.
Let's check out the lineups for the American League. They'll be hitting first against the home of the Chicago Cubs' top minor league affiliate here in Des Moines. It'll be Hanley Frias from Oklahoma City. Last year, great fielding percentage for the Texas Lead. Jason Wood is next from Edmonton, top minor league affiliate of the Oakland A's. Yvonne Cruz will follow, tied for first International League home runs with 22 from Columbus. Then Bubba Smith, big DH from Oklahoma City. Danny Clyburn of Rochester, top minor league affiliate of Baltimore. Alan Zinter will follow from Tacoma. Yamil Benitez, Maglio Ordonez, #1 hitter in the American Association from Nashville. And Frank Catalanato, second baseman from Toledo, hitting .318 this year. And we talked about Maglio Ordonez. He's quite a prospect from the Nashville Sounds, top minor league affiliate of Chicago.
And here's left-handers at a .421 clip.
He has the most hits right now in the American Association. Soon he'll be playing alongside Frank Thomas at Comiskey Park. National League All-Stars, the defense that we'll see, Tony Barron from the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons will be in left. Robin Jennings, hometown hero from the Iowa Cubs, will be in center field, followed by Jacob Krubs from Phoenix in right field. He's one to watch. Konerko, Barrett, Owens, Todd Help, big home run hitter from the Colorado Sky Sox at first base. Schwartzbaugh and Romero will make up the battery for tonight's game. Eli Marrero is going to be the catcher. And at first base, there he is, Todd Helton. Yesterday, Jim, really wowing the crowd here in Des Moines by winning the home run contest.
Well, this guy can really hammer the ball. He's having a tremendous year. You'll see all the numbers later, but as you mentioned, a guy like Todd Helton, you wonder what might happen to a fellow like this. Andres Galarraga doing the number in Colorado, but it's hard to hold these youngsters down. At some point in time, if they can hit, they will find positions for youngsters like a Todd Helton.
So Todd Helton playing defense behind Dave Schwartzball will be the starter. And he is a veteran, longtime member of the American Association, but gets his first big start here tonight.
Well, I thought it was interesting. That's why I asked him the question. 9 years in organized baseball, a lot of time in the minor leagues, but still in the same organization, the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs do need some pitching, so here's a fellow that leads the American Association ERA at 2.09 in today's baseball. Dave, I'll tell you, the way the ball flies, that's doing something. So he's getting a chance to show his wares tonight.
And the Iowa record all-time for ERA, 2.17, held by one Vida Blue. Let's look at last year's game held in Salt Lake City, Utah. It was 1-2-1 by the National League. Franklin Quest Field in Salt Lake City, game ruled by pitching and defense. Brian Rabi, a great diving stop on Ottawa's Yamil Benitez. The AL got a home run from Salt Lake's Todd Walker, crushing one to right field. That tied the ball game up. Now to the 8th inning of last year's game, score tied. Indianapolis Indian catcher Brooke Fordyce reams one to left. That's jacked for a 2-1 NL lead, and that's how the game would end in Utah last year. Fordyce enjoying the post-game victory. Celebration from Utah last year. He was named the AAA Star of Stars. And we are about set for the first pitch on a great night for baseball. Hanley Frias will lead things off. The American League wearing the visiting uniforms. Bruce Dreckman from the American Association is the home plate umpire. First pitch from Schwartzball is a strike. All the numbers you'll see in this game, very impressive. These guys know how to hit, field, and pitch. That's why they're all here. As Jim talked about with Dave Schwartzball, a lot of scouts in the stands as well. From many different organizations striking the outside corner.
Dave Schwartzball won't overpower anybody. He won't impress you with a fastball. He just throws a lot of strikes.
Take something off that off-speed pitch up the outside corner. 2-2 to Hanley Frias from Oklahoma City. Next stop for him, the Texas Rangers. This is the 10th annual AAA All-Star Game. The Nationals so far, after that win we saw, led by Brooke Fordyce last year with a victory, lead the series 6-3. Fly ball looped out towards short left field, and Tony Barron from Scranton Wilkes-Barre puts it away for the first out.
Just to follow up on Dave Schwartzball once again, I mentioned he is a controlled pitcher, and he has all the pitches, the fastball, curve, slider, change. And at 29 years old, I think he does have a little bit advantage, Dave. That's why his earned run average is so well this year, even though he's just 5-4. But he'll pitch behind at times, throw anything at any time. So he really does a very good job of keeping hitters off balance.
Here's Jason Wood, third baseman from Edmonton. Look at that average. Not bad on the power numbers either. 12 homers, 55 RBIs. His next stop in his pro baseball career will be the Oakland A's. And moments earlier, we saw the American League skipper. That's Gary Jones from Edmonton, who led the Trappers to the PCL Pacific Coast League title last year. Here's a shot toward right center. It's going to be a base hit. And Jason Wood is on with the first hit of this 97 AAA All-Star game.
You saw the first pitch that Dave Schwartzball threw to Jason Wood, 85 miles an hour. So you're talking about, again, a right-hander that throws average speeds with his fastball. But what he tries to do is double up and come back with another fastball. And that can be a little dangerous. Rides right back to the center of the plate. And a nice job of hitting by Jason Wood.
Next up, here come the big boppers. 3 in a row. These guys can all go deep at any time. Ivan Cruz from the Columbus Clippers is first up. Big swing and a miss. So we talked to a lot of the players during batting practice, and that was something to watch as well tonight. Many said on that first pitch they're going to get, they're going to try to go yard. Why not? It's an all-star game. Stats don't count. Cruz has got Wood on first base, one down in the first. Fastball a bit high and outside. Ivan Cruz, International League Player of the Week, April 11th, the first week of the season. 22 home runs this year. That ties him with Russ Moorman, who's also in this game tonight from the Charlotte Knights. Lead in the International League with 22 dingers. It's Tim Johnson from the Iowa Cubs. He's the manager of the National League, first-year skipper from Iowa. Last 2 years, he was a bench coach with the Boston Red Sox, and before that, same role with the Montreal Expos. Gary Jones in his 8th season as a manager, and as we mentioned, AAA skipper of the year in '96. He said he's going to have a great time in this game tonight. He really has enjoyed the festivities at this point. Not enjoying that pitch is Ivan Cruz, who's punched out. Called strike 3 for the second out of the first inning.
David Schwartzbaugh hitting that outside corner once again. You see the catcher moving outside, the pitch right there. A nice job by Schwartzbaugh. And you can see Cruz, who had really taken a big rip his first swing in this at-bat, perhaps in his mind trying to find something center to the inside part of the plate to pull the ball, but Schwartzbaugh wouldn't let him do that.
Big cut from DH Bubba Smith of Oklahoma City. Now, Jim, doesn't he just sound like a home run hitter? Bubba from Oklahoma.
You always name the big guy Bubba.
Pull the string on him. 2 strikes on Smith. 21 homers, 66 RBIs. Number 1 in the American Association in homers with a 21 taters this year, and leads the league and runs knocked home as well. We're going to see a lot of league leaders in this game tonight. Swung on and missed. Schwartzbaugh strikes out 2 in a row to get in any trouble in the top of the first. Half inning in the books from Des Moines. More coming up in the AAA All-Star game. A packed house in Des Moines, Iowa, Sec Taylor Stadium. Welcome back, everyone, to ESPN2's presentation of the AAA All-Star game. Dave Ryan alongside Jim Rooker. Glad you join us. No Major League Baseball. This is the one to watch tonight. National League lineup. They will start with Eric Owens from Indianapolis. He was the AAA MVP in the American Association and Rookie of the Year in '95. Good player to watch. Tony Barron is next up from Scranton Wilkes-Barre, followed by hometown hero Robin Jennings from the Iowa Cubs. Paul Konerko. This guy can hit home runs by the bushel. He's just 21 years old. Helton, Moorman, Jacob Cruz, who talks about him from Phoenix in right field. Morero will catch, and David Berg will hit ninth and play it short. And the defense for the American League around the infield: Wood, Frias, Catalanato, and Cruz. Rose and Zinner are the battery. Clyburn, Ordonez, and Yamil Benitez will be out in right field. Brian Rose from Pawtucket, up-and-coming superstar. They really love him in Boston. See why with those numbers. He is the American League starter tonight. First pitch to Owens is ripped towards center field and deep. Ordonez had a bit of problem with that. Kind of got spun around, but makes the catch in deep right center for the first out.
Brian Rose, a good fastball with great movement. That's the thing that makes him so successful. He has a slider, a curve, and working on a changeup. And as we mentioned earlier, the hitters, if they see something good on that first pitch, they're going up there and going to ripping. Another thing about Brian Rose, this guy is not afraid to pitch inside, 21 years old, and will challenge the hitters.
Tony Barron taps that foul for the first strike. Rose 12-2, a 2.99 ERA. Number 1 in the International League innings pitched with just over 138. Second in ERA with that 2.99. 94th third-round pick of Boston, but with Carl Pavano, the other top prospect, injured at the moment, he is the number 1 up-and-coming Boston Red Sox to get to Fenway Park next.
Now, this kid has good size to him. He's built perfectly for a pitcher. I like that size, 6'2", 6'3".
Tony Barron's got some size on some of the home runs he's hit this year. Big power numbers for him as well. Tap back toward the mound. Rose will pounce on it, tosses over to Cruz for the second out of this first inning.
You'll hear the term great composure when you talk about a guy like Brian Rose. It's usually a young pitcher with good stuff and knowledge of how to use it is the reason that term is used. he will expand the strike zone. So by pitching ahead of the hitters, he makes a lot of hitters chase a pitch that aren't strikes. Notice Tony Barron went after a pitch that was off the plate to bounce one back to the pitcher.
Big round of applause for Robin Jennings. 6'2", 210 pounds from Miami, Florida. Center fielder for the Iowa Cubs. Taken by the Cubbies back in the 33rd round of the June '91 draft. It was an all-star in '95 with AA Orlando on the way up. It's funny how many times you see that players taken in late rounds, like your Mike Piazzas of the world, who turn out to be tremendous talents at the big league level. Piazza involved in '92 in this AAA All-Star game. Sky down the left field line. Clyburn gives a look. It's deep, and Clyburn in the corner is able to put it away for the third out. So Jennings teases the capacity crowd here in Des Moines. No score after one. More coming up in the AAA All-Star game after this. No score after one inning of play. AAA All-Star game from Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines, Iowa. And a clash of the American and National League All-Star games. Speaking of clash, the San Jose Clash go head-to-head with the Tampa Bay Mutiny. It's MLS soccer coming up on ESPN. Sunday, 5 o'clock Eastern. San Jose led by World Cup star Eric Winalda, who is among the league's top 10 in scoring and leads the league in assists. Tampa, led by a top 5 scorer, Carlos Valderrama. It comes your way Sunday, 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Gary Jones, the manager of the Edmonton Trappers, said for the most part he's going to have fun out here, but don't get him wrong, he wants to win this game tonight. There'll be some competition when the first pitch gets going. And we're into the top of the second inning. Danny Clyburn from Rochester, left fielder. 15 home runs for the Red Wings. Inside from Schwartzbaugh. Rochester currently the top team in the International League Eastern Division as Clyburn waves at that breaking ball way outside. Half-game lead on Pawtucket at the moment.
A little bit over anxious. Pitch off the plate. Clyburn cannot catch up to it.
Oh, next pitch is crushed, and we mean crushed to left, way back, and long gone deep into the Iowa night. Danny Clyburn will touch them all in grand fashion. That ball was hammered for a 1-0 lead for the American Leaguers. Now, Jim, if there's a time to impress the scouts with a huge home run like that, this is it.
Well, it's really against the grain for Schwartzbaugh to make a pitch like this after getting the hitter to chase a ball well off the plate. A pitch that's up and just about off center. In other words, the inside part of the plate. And he certainly threw the ball right to Clyburn's power. When Clyburn hit that ball, it was just a matter, was it going to stay fair or foul? But that definitely hurts. You have the advantage over the hitter, and then you make a mistake like that.
Alan Zinder next up, catcher from the Tacoma Rainiers, top minor league affiliate of the Seattle Mariners. Tony Barron in left field took one look at that ball, didn't even move his legs, just kind of gazed upward in amazement at that huge home run hit by Clyburn. Swung on and missed from Alan Zinder. Now Schwartzbaugh's got to try to rebound from that big home run hit.
Well, one thing you have to like about it, Schwartzbaugh doesn't waste any time. Even though he made a bad pitch, he's coming right back at the hitter.
Zinner fouls that ball off into the huge crowd tonight. This morning there were about 400 standing room only tickets left, and they were snapped up very quickly. So we do have a sellout at Sec Taylor Stadium. And a foul back by Alan Zinner. Fans here are really proud to be able to host the AAA All-Star game. Everyone very excited around the city of Des Moines over the last couple of days in anticipation for the big game tonight. Zinner at one time property of the New York Mets. And he'll earn himself base on balls here in the second. So trouble for Schwartzbaugh, gives up the monstrous home run to Clyburn, and now a walk to Alan Zinner.
The Omaha Royals, Jamil Benitez.
Gary Jones assisted in this game by Marv Foley and by Mike Yersheli from Omaha. Yersheli now coaching third base, his third year as the Omaha Royals skipper. And this Jamil Benitez, also from the Omaha Royals. Well, down in the dugout, Danny Clyburn joins us now. Danny, how do you feel about that big home run?
Would you call that somewhat of a mistake that he threw to you?
Yeah. Real big mistake.
Well, what happened there, Danny? I mean, you were down in the count, and all of a sudden he comes with a pitch that right in your wheelhouse. Have you ever hit a home run that far before?
I don't know, man. I don't judge how far I hit him. I just try to put the ball in play, but that was a real big one for me.
Nice job out there. Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
All right, I do that, man, and thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
All right.
So we hear immediately from the hero here at the AAA All-Star game. Feels good, I'll bet. Benitez up there now trying to add to the misery of the National Leaguers here in the second.
Well, you notice when you walk around these fellas, when you hear the term that they're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger, and you really realize that when you're talking to them. And young kids, boy, they are big, they are strong. And they have no fear, Dave. You watch it. Baseball has changed a little bit, I believe. There used to be some fear in hitters, but I don't think hitters today, even at the young level, the young age, they do not fear the baseball like they used to. Very aggressive.
Benitez tries to muscle that one out toward right field. And umpire is going to call this play back. Apparently a dead ball called, or see exactly what we've got. Apparently timeout call before the pitch. There's a third base umpire, Scott Simonides from the American Association, stopping play just before the delivery to Benitez, so he'll get a second life. Neil Benitez has seen time in the majors with Montreal. Came up with the Expos in '95 and '96. Swung on and missed. Despite the second opportunity, Benitez is down on strikes for the first out of the second.
Center fielder from the Nashville Sounds, Maglio Ordonez.
Dave Schwartzbaugh has a chance to turn this inning around. A home run or walk. Now he gets a strikeout.
Maglio Ordonez, next up from Nashville, is just one step shy of playing alongside Albert Bell and Frank Thomas. At Comiskey Park with the Chicago White Sox, he is something else. Number one hitter in the American Association at .348, 59 RBIs. Last year, 6 in the minor in doubles. This year, number one in the American Association in hits. He has done it all offensively this year. Konerko throwing over to Owens, and they throw back to first as they try to get the double play, not quite in time. So fielder's choice there for Ordonez, who'll be on first base with 2 down.
Ordonez tops this ball a little bit, so he takes some of the sting out of the ball, and it would have taken some kind of special play to turn 2 on this one. Just doesn't happen.
Two down, top of the second inning. 1 run in on a huge home run by Danny Clyburn of Rochester. Absolutely smoked a Schwartzbaugh 2-strike delivery to left field. I think that one's still going. Just cranked. Frank Coronado from Toledo. The Mud Hens are the top affiliate of the Detroit Tigers.
This is the way the wind's blowing now from the right field corner to the left. I mean, it's really a pitcher's nightmare for right-handed batters. Anything they get in the air, for the most part, is going to go out of here.
We'll see how many home runs are hit. Yesterday in the home run hitting competition, won eventually by Todd Helton from Colorado Springs. He had 5 in the final round. That's a lot of home runs to hit after you've been going all after about 45 minutes of just swinging for the fences. Catalanato, second baseman for the American League, up trying to keep this second inning going. There's a strike. Sec Taylor Stadium was completely redesigned in 1992 after they took a wrecking ball to the old yard, which had been around for many years before that. Left field, 335. The power alley's 375, 400 feet to dead center. On the outside corner. Last year, Double-A. Catalanato career high 17 home runs for Jacksonville. So he's got a little pop to his bat as well, playing second base. The runner on the move. Speaking of pop in the bat, this one hit way back to right and gone. Catalanato hits the second home run of this second inning, a 2-1 shot, and it's 3-0. American League has the lead. It's easy when you're Gary Jones in the dugout. You see home run balls flying out of the yard.
Well, and it's a bonus when your number 9 hitter happens to hit one out for you. Even though they don't count, it would be number 10. Schwartzbaugh will try to get a fastball by the hitter, and you see, as most left-handers, at least the majority of them, seem to be good low ball hitters, and there goes the long ball.
Brings up the leadoff hitter and Hanley Frias. He goes directly to Todd Helton, has problems with that ball, handcuffed him, but the throw to Schwartzbaugh is in time. And finally, the American Leaguers are done, but 3 runs in on 2 long home runs against Dave Schwartzbaugh. We'll have more coming up from Des Moines. Welcome back, everyone. 3-0. American Leaguers with a long ball. 2 homers hit in the top of the second inning, and this guy knows how to hit the ball out of the yard in a hurry. Paul Konerko from Albuquerque, third baseman. And as we saw at the top of the broadcast, it won't be long until he is running around the base paths at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Tops of the PCL, the Pacific Coast League, with 25 home runs. Just 21 years old, too. Also leads that circuit in RBIs with 84. So Brian Rose, the advantage of having some big hitters in his American League lineup, has a 3-0 lead. Konerko rips this one to left, down the line. Trouble if it's fair. It's over the wall. That's off the top of the wall, in play. And look at that. It's going to be a long single for Paul Konerko. Stays in play barely along that left field line.
Paul either became a fan or thought it was gone or wasn't sure whether the ball was going to stay fair or foul, because when he hit it, he just trotted down the line as he watched the ball. Good swing and a fastball, and you notice when he hits the ball thinking, well, this one has a chance, and doesn't really run full out. Nice play by left fielder Danny Clyburn to get to the ball and get it in quickly.
So Clyburn having a big game offensively with a home run in that second inning and a nice defensive play out and left as well.
Well, this game tonight so far has followed the script from last night's All-Star game perfectly in terms of the runs being scored on home runs, American League, if you will. But I have an idea, Dave, that we're not finishing scoring tonight.
Especially if this guy gets into one. Todd Helton from Colorado Springs, the Sky Sox, the top affiliate of the Colorado Rockies, and he is yet to be called up to the major league level, but it won't be long. Only hold the guy down a certain amount of time. 367. And a great college player at Tennessee as well. 95 Player of the Year, Golden Spikes Award winner. He won the home run hitting contest yesterday.
And got $1,000.
Not bad. Plus a bat contract with Louisville Slugger. That's a pretty good day's work. Just inside of Helton. That big year in '95 helped the University of Tennessee Volunteers at the College World Series. First round draft pick in '95. Konerko aboard for him here in the second. Broken bat, flare hit toward left. That's actually carrying a lot further than it looked off the bat. Back to the walls. Clyburn puts it away. That ball really got into the jet stream and went in left field. And the wind is blowing out there.
Number one, it does show how strong these fellows are. They can break the bat and still give the ball a pretty good ride. But with that breeze, and it is a strong one to left field, hitting the ball the other way from the left side, not a bad idea.
So with one down, the elder statesman of this 97 AAA All-Star game, Russ Moorman, 35 years old. He is facing the youngest player out there, 21-year-old Brian Rose. With one down and one on. Big swing from Moorman. Comes up empty. He leads the International League in home runs and active minor league homer leader as well with 178 dingers.
Well, you have to feel a guy like Moorman is hanging in there and doing a pretty good job at doing that. With the expansion next year, there are going to be a lot of jobs open. You never know. Someone like Moorman might be able to sneak on a roster and help some club out.
Does have major league experience with the White Sox, Royals, and Florida Marlins. So he has been up and hit 9 career home runs in major league level. Fly ball to left field. This one not nearly as deep as the shot hit by Helton and gathered easily by Danny Clyburn out and left for the second out of the second inning.
Now, even though Rose hasn't been reached for any runs, 4 of the 5 outs that he has recorded have been in the air. You don't really want to be a fly ball pitcher tonight. Or I should say a fly ball out pitcher tonight.
Yeah, because it may fly out of the stadium here in Des Moines. Now, Rose told you before the game he just wanted to get through the 2 innings and hope to get some runs behind him. That's been the script so far. But Jacob Cruz is up from Phoenix. Won't be long until we see him running side by side with Barry Bonds in the Giants outfield. He is a very exciting young player. Top hitter in the Pacific Coast League at 376. High and outside. Eli Marrero, catcher from Louisville. He is on deck. First, he's got to get through Jacob Cruz. Lays off the heat. 86-mile-an-hour pitch there from Brian Rose. Pretty good numbers, and although not really a power hitter, still the RBI status way up there at the All-Star break, 65. Pacific Coast League plays 2 separate seasons. They have a first-half winner and a second-half winner. This one tapped toward first. The easy play made there by Ivan Cruz. And the National Leaguers unable to get through. They're down by 3. 2 innings in the books. Welcome back, everyone. American League dominant so far, but it's early. A lot of offense still to come from Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines. Dave Ryan alongside Jim Rooker, joined by a very special guest, Randy Mobley, president of the International League. Randy, thanks for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
Big news is coming out of Sec Taylor Stadium tonight, a complete reconfiguration of AAA baseball. Why don't you tell us what happened basically today?
Well, we're very excited, and we've taken a traditional 3-league format that's been in place for many, many years, and we've consolidated it down into 2 leagues. The American Association has dissolved, the International League has expanded, and a larger league will evolve, involving some of the remaining American Association clubs and the existing Pacific Coast League clubs.
Jason Wood is up here to lead things off in the 3rd inning for the American Leaguers with a 3-0 lead. Randy, we will go through all the different teams and where they're headed.
John Halama, by the way, the new pitcher. Left-hander with a very good fastball, likes to cut it occasionally. Throws a little bit of a slider and a change. 4 years in the making. Was this idea coming forward?
Well, we've been at it for a few years anyhow, and it's been something that a number of the clubs have wanted to see more clubs come through their city than they were seeing under the more traditional format. Next year, we were already going to expand to coincide with the Major League expansion. Mr. Bill Cutler, the president of the Pacific Coast League, is retiring after 50 years in the game after this season. So there were a lot of things that were falling in place to make now the correct time to examine something like this, and lo and behold, it happened.
Economically, geographically, probably a marriage there as well.
A lot of things that happened, and both of those were factors.
Ground ball to Konerko off the bat of Wood. Fires across the diamond to Helton in time for his first out of this 3rd inning. All right, Randy, as we were talking about, really big changes in AAA baseball, and we'll break it down for the baseball fans watching. The new International League, and this, the current international, the way things are set up, things will really change.
They will. We're going to add Buffalo, Indianapolis, and Louisville from the American Association, 3 outstanding cities with great baseball history. All 3 of them have previously been in the International League in years gone by. Buffalo was already coming in as part of the expansion for next year, along with Durham. But the addition of Louisville and Indianapolis is outstanding.
Cruz slaps a single in left field. He'll be on with 1 down in the top of the 3rd inning.
I hate to admit it, I'm dating myself, but when I played in the International League, those teams were there. So you're right.
You can vouch for their
Yes.
their prior existence in the International.
Exactly.
Jim.
And as well, as you mentioned, fine cities.
They are. They are, and they have a great baseball history. Baseball tradition in those cities, second to none. Since you've been there, Jim, we've added a few new ballparks in the league.
Bubba Smith is next up here with 1 down in the 3rd.
Well, this ballpark, well, here's a look at the other ballpark.
Yes, and as it says there on the graphic, no name yet assigned to this group of teams. The existing 10 Pacific Coast League teams, along with the 6 other American Association clubs that will join there. They're going to be in 4 4-team divisions in all probability. A lot of questions remaining, a lot of work yet to be done. But we got the announcement out, and now it's time to get down to business.
Holliman's throw over to first, not in time to get Cruz. With Bubba Smith up so far, 0 for 1 struck out swing in the 1st inning against Schwartzbaugh. With 1 man out. Just inside and low.
We think it's going to be outstanding for fans in all of these cities now to be able to see some additional players from other organizations coming through. A number of major league organizations like the idea of their players playing against players from other organizations that they will be facing, hopefully, as they progress on to the major leagues.
Elba's next pitch to Smith. Ground ball to shortstop. Berg moving to his right. Good play, and an easy turn as Eric Owens fires over to first. Randy Mobley from the International League, thanks for joining us tonight.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Good luck with the realignment. 3-0 game, middle of 3rd. So far, the American League running away with things. What is the early going, bottom of the 3rd inning? 3-0 American League lead after a couple of home runs hit in the 2nd. A new pitcher on the mound for the AL AAA All-Stars. Esteban Yan, a relief pitcher from the Rochester Red Wings. 6-3 record this year with a 3.57 ERA. A couple saves to his credit. 26 games appeared for Marv Foley's Red Wings.
All 6'4", 230 pounds of Esteban Yan.
Got Benitez already up there in Baltimore. A pretty big, imposing reliever as well.
Well, this guy throws around 90-plus miles an hour, sometimes around 94, also with the split-finger fastball, so he works up and down in the strike zone very well.
Pitch
that one
foul.
to 84.
Straight back by Marrero. Louisville Cardinals catcher, Redbirds. He would love to be a St. Louis Cardinal someday soon.
He's better English than me and you.
Did he hit?
Yeah, 290, 11 home runs.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, what the fuck?
He'll put a jolt in a ball.
National League manager Jim Johnson.
He's going to be a good one. He's going to be a real good one someday.
He's raving about the talents of Eli Marrero at the plate, and talking with Bill Fisher, who's the pitching coach of the Richmond Braves. Marrero on with a walk.
Well, Brian Rose, 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, so as he said before the game, he had fun. 2 quick innings, no damage, got his team up to bat. Keep him off the field and may get the win for this game.
Mission accomplished. And David Berg is next up. Fastball a little bit high. 5'11", 200-pounder from Roseville, California. He is just shy of 300 this year, 302 at Double-A Portland a year ago. It was 9th in the Eastern League, Portland, Maine. Representing the Charlotte Knights, Triple-A team of the Florida Marlins. David Berg had quite a 96 season as well in the RBI department. He was able to lead that Portland ball club at Double-A level, 73 knocked in. Here's facing Esteban Yan. Bottom of the third inning, team down by 3 on a couple homers hit by the American Leaguers in the second.
That happens to be Ron Wotus, the third base coach.
He's the manager of the Phoenix Firebirds. Top affiliate of the San Francisco Giants. 2-1 count here. David Berg, the shortstop. And he had him fooled badly on that pitch, called strike. Five homers, 28 RBIs for Berg heading into the All-Star break. 38th round draft pick. Another one of those 30-round guys for the Marlins in the 1993 June free agent draft. Wind really picking up. It's gusting out to left field. As we saw the American Leaguers, doesn't matter where you are in the lineup. See the breeze really blowing stiff now out there center field. Going right into the left field corner. I'm sure David Berg can feel that breeze at home plate. Runner is on the move, but it's out of the strike zone. Won't matter. Another walk. Second straight issued by Esteban Yan. Berg is aboard. First and second, no one out in the third inning.
And this is a little bit against the grain. Esteban Yan known for better control than what he's showing right now, but I think it's a little understandable, Dave, and some of these fellas out here are probably keyed up. Perhaps something like opening day. You really get charged up for a game like this, so a tendency to maybe overthrow a little bit, lose the strike zone.
Got to face a very good hitter now in second baseman Eric Owens from Indianapolis. The Indians starting second baseman. He has been up and down with the parent Cincinnati Reds 8 times. In fact, last year was the starting second baseman in Cincy. He was telling us before the game how frustrating that's been for him to make that shuttle in between Indy and Cincinnati. Guerrero at second base. And David Berg at first. So runners at first and second after a couple of walks here in the home third. Owens has got pop in his bat as well. He's got 9 homers and 36 RBIs. He had quite a 95 season.
Another thing that was frustrating for Owens, as bad as things were going for Cincinnati, they kept shuffling players not only up and down but around in different positions. So Owens not only was trying to stay in the big leagues, but he was moved around an awful lot once he got there.
Tries to go the other way with this one. Toward second base, Carolanano will be able to get one as he forces David Berg at second. Flipping there to Hanley Frias for the first out. But now runners to corners.
Well, that had one out written all over it. The ball wasn't hit in a fashion for a double play, and especially when your second baseman has to go so far. For my money, it's a nice job to get the lead runner, because by making this play, you still have a chance to get out of the inning without any runs being scored. So get the lead runner here, keep the double play in order, and hope that Esteban Yan can get a ground ball.
Runner on the move. The throw down towards second base is not in time. As Eric Owens wasting no time after hitting that fielder's choice. Alan Dinner's throw is a bit late. Owens got himself a stolen base. Now 2 runners in scoring position.
Well, I think that might have been Eric Owens running on his own. I don't think either manager is going to try any kind of plays tonight. They don't want to take the bat out of any of the hitter's hands. So on occasion, of course, you might see him run on a 3-2 with 1 out, something like that. But I don't think for the most part you'll see hitting and running or stealing. The managers, just like anybody else, Dave, you mentioned, they want to have fun, but they want to sit back and let these guys swing the bat.
The guy looking to swing the bat to go deep here is Tony Barron from Scranton Wilkes-Barre. 30 years old, so on the older side of the AAA All-Stars out here. I would second base, and runner at third, and Marrero as well.
I would qualify this game to compare it to golf. You're not playing your own ball. It's a scramble. Everybody gets a free swing.
Exactly right. Most of those swings are aimed at hitting it over the fence. Esteban Yan, however, has other ideas. 17 home runs hit by Barron in the first part of the season, heading into the All-Star break. That's a fister out towards center field. Initially, Ordonez stopped, then he comes back, tossing toward home, tagging at third, Marrero, and he'll score on the sac fly. Trying to go to third. Owens, the throw to third is in time, and Eric Owens is gunned down for the third out of the inning, but the run does score first as Eli Marrero comes home on that sac fly. It's a 3-1 game after 3. The National League in the bottom of the third inning, able to scratch out 1 run. Jim Rooker, pretty wild play to end the inning.
Well, not a good base running play by Eric Owens. Tony Barron hits the sacrifice fly, and you see Ordonez come in and make the throw to the plate. It goes off toward the third base side and gets by the catcher, and like any other pitcher, that's your job. Back up the play, and you see Esteban Yan doing his job.
Perfect throw to third base.
Sometimes, Dave, in a game like this, pitchers will get a little lazy, but that's a nice job of backing up.
Clyburn pops that one to the foul ground, and Marrero is able to track it down and make the catch. Danny Clyburn, who in his last at-bat clanked that huge homer to left field. National League All-Star starter Dave Schwartzlaw retired with that pop-up this time.
Another thing to think about, which Eric Owens didn't by getting thrown out at third, you have a meteor order coming up. And again, you don't want to take the bat out of their hands, and that's basically what he did.
Alan Zinner walked in his first at bat and scored on the home run hit by Catalanato from Toledo. The 9th hitter in the order.
Zinter is not going to show much speed. He's got a damaged flap on his left leg.
I'm not sure that's going to help him aerodynamically. It's going to slow him down out there.
You call that full flaps.
Good power numbers. Very consistent in the long run with Alan Zinner. Just inside. The 2 games this year with 4 hits. There is some bullpen action now for the National League. Steve Faltazek from the Ottawa Lynx is up and getting warm. Two-one count here. Alan Zinner ready. Rifles that one foul on the left field line, out of play. That was a broken bat as well. He'll need some new lumber. Faltazek nearly became a 10th fielder out there for the National League in the NL All-Star bullpen.
I talked about the cut fastball of John Halama. He's 6'5" and throws well enough, but he'll cut the fastball and really run it in on the hands of a right-handed batter. And that's one pitch right-handers hate. They can handle the slider because they can pick up the spin a little bit better, but a cut fastball has that same rotation, just almost the same rotation of a fastball, so they just can't quite pick it up cleanly, and jammed quite a few times.
Alan Zinter, as we mentioned, kind of on the threshold of making the big leagues, but never has been able to stick. Came up with the Mets, originally a Met draft pick. Also played with the Red Sox farm system. This one popped up in the infield. Using out towards short center field. Owens able to put it away. So Alan Zinter retired. And 2 down, top of the 4th inning.
Oh, yeah. And he's not on the 40-man or anything. No. And he's one of the best pitchers in this league.
I assume they're talking about the lefty out there, John Halleman. You know, you hear so much about the necessity and the need for pitching, Dave. Not to have a guy like this protected or on a 40-man roster. You wonder why.
A bit surprising as Yamil Benitez fouls that pitch out of play into the right field seats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he knows. Yeah. that changeup, take a little off.
Fouled off by Benitez. You can hear National
Alama,
League
yeah.
manager Tim Johnson
Well, I
raving.
really like that.
You want him to say nothing after you started.
Did you?
I never really, I don't know what to do.
He's a great kid.
Alamo, that big line. Obviously, he's caught the attention of the National League coaching staff. Bill Fisher, the Richmond Braves pitching coach.
Well, all managers send in reports on other players, and Johnson basically doing a scouting report on Halima right now. And it really is a form of research. Let's just say that, you know, this guy isn't protected over the offseason, then the Cubs, you never know. May grab somebody like Halima.
2-2 pitch to Benitez, waved at and missed, and the American Leaguers go quietly in the fourth. Tim Johnson enjoys that. 3-1 game. To the bottom of the fourth we go. This game looking a lot like last night's Big League All-Star game from Jake in Cleveland. 3-1 score. American Leaguers have the lead. Seen a couple home runs. Robin Jennings from the Iowa Cubs will try to turn that around. Flew out in his first bat. Deep, though, to left field. Esteban Yan's pitch high and outside. See how long each manager goes with these players at their certain positions. I'm sure we'll probably see Jennings a bit longer than the others. He is the hometown hero. Ground ball hit toward Frias. Toss over to first to Ivan Cruz for the first out of the fourth.
You notice how easy Frias makes the throw to first base. Some infielders just have that knack of being able to just use the wrist. A little flick of the wrist and the ball still has a lot of life to it. Every once in a while they have to maybe go into the hole and rear back and cut one loose, but Frias basically just flips it over there and still gets a nice strong throw.
Paul Konerko, and that stat showing he's 1 for 1 with a single. I'm not sure if that really gives it justice. It was a searing liner hit the left off the top of the fence. And that went for a long single. Danny Clyburn making a good play out there and left to hold him to one base. Great year for Konerko, Double-A San Antonio. That's a record, by the way, with emissions at that level. The power numbers he was able to produce. Konerko is very dangerous. One down here. Tries to lay off that pitch. He does so, but it's a strike in the outside corner.
Well, you see the difference in the speeds. 88 miles an hour, and then coming back with an 80-mile-per-hour pitch. Way to keep the hitter well off balance.
High and tight. That's 79 miles an hour from Esteban Yan. Paul Konerko was drafted out of high school as a catcher, first round of the '94 free agent June draft, and has gone back and forth between first and third base at the double and triple-A level. Dodgers not totally sure where they want to put him, and he's been playing mostly third this year, but he told me before the game and second half after the All-Star break he'll be playing some more first. Konerko ready, 3-2 pitch with one down from Yan. Tap foul. We are joined by another all-star player out there. John Halma, how are you out there?
I'm fine.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Left-hander for the Zephyrs. Tell us about the American League hitters, how they're looking.
Very big. Very big and aggressive.
How's the All-Star experience been for you? A lot of guys have said being able to meet other players has been very exciting. The home run contest was fun, but you're a pitcher. How's your take been in the whole time?
Well, I didn't enjoy the home run contest because there's a lot of big guys and they were hitting the ball out, but I've had a great experience so far. I can't complain. Having a lot of fun. The guys are great. Getting to see guys from different leagues. So I'm having a lot of fun.
How differently would you pitch in a game like this as let's say, compared to a game that you would go during the regular season, your normal turn?
I can't really say. I don't know because I don't have a scouting report on all those guys. I don't know what they hit. So I mean, I know Benitez and Bubba and Hanley Frias are about the only guys that I know there. So that's about the only 3 guys that I could at least pitch to. The rest of the guys, I just have to invent things while I'm out there.
Well, on the other side of that, they don't know you very well either, so you may have the advantage.
Yeah, I guess. I guess we're both at disadvantages. How's that?
Very diplomatic.
Well, John, during the broadcast, we've had your manager, Tim Johnson, mic'd up. He was very impressed with your stuff out there. So the opposition likes it.
Thanks. Hopefully it stays good when I pitch against them.
John, thanks for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Okay, thank you.
Helton is up now, as we saw his numbers so far, with a fly out deep to left field in the second inning. His prior bat. 2 down here. High and outside. Helton says he may be moved to left field. He's been a first baseman most of his career, but has the feeling if he keeps the numbers up, possibly down the road, he could be platooning with Dante Bichette. Hitting from the left side, Bichette the right. Not much hitting going on there. Foul tip. And Zinter can hold on, so Helton is still alive. Imagine the huge home runs hit at Coors Field. Same goes in Colorado Springs, that high elevation where the Colorado Springs Sky Sox play.
Imagine another left-handed bat in the lineup.
Wow.
Predominantly right-handed. So a welcome for a guy like Helton from the left side with all that power. I'm sure Donnie Baylor is pretty well informed about the doings of Todd Helton.
Fly ball lifted deep to right center. Could be trouble. Back to the wall. Gathered there by Ordonez, who makes the catch for the 3rd out. Nothing across for the National Leaguers. Still down 3-1. 4 complete from Des Moines. 3-1. American League has the lead heading into the top of the 5th here from the AAA All-Star Game. Exciting action on the field. Exciting action comes your way on the court as well tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. It's the WNBA. The Charlotte Sting takes on the New York Liberty. Charlotte led by Andrea Stinson, averaging over 15 points a game. New York led by the great center Rebecca Lobo, 12.7 points, 7.7 boards per game. Liberty starting their season 3-0. WNBA comes your way on the Deuce. Big crowd at Sec Taylor Stadium. Nearly 11,000 on hand, and they'll see a new pitcher for the National Leaguers, Steve Faldezek from Ottawa, top farm club of the Montreal Expos.
There are his numbers. Steve Faldezek, a fastball, a little bit of a slider. He also throws a split finger pitch. I think that happens to be the pitch of the 90s. Everybody's using it.
Played college baseball at the University of South Alabama down in Mobile. Montreal Expo draft pick 10th round of 92. Here is Nashville's Maglio Ordonez. He's done a fielder's choice and did score in the second inning. Top of the 5th. Faldezek's first pitch of the game. Ground ball hit right up the middle. Berg ranging to his left, fires in the run. Ordonez is gone. 1 down, top of the 5th.
From the Toledo Mudhens, second baseman Frank.
Well, a play easily made by Berg. You notice he just takes his time, and again, basically a toss to first base. And again, these young fellas, to me, they're just so nice and easy, fluid. They make it look so easy.
Fastball taken for a strike by Frank Catalanano from Toledo. He had a big first bat. 2-run homer in the second inning. Crushed that one. Dave Schwartzbaugh, the Iowa Cubs and National League starter in this game, back in the second. Starting all 86 games for Toledo. Catalanano with a .318 average heading into the All-Star break. Doug Creek, left-hander for the Phoenix Firebirds, is getting ready in the National League pen. So we'll see a lot of different faces, typical of the All-Star format. Always a lot of fun for the fans to see. And they have been very enthusiastic all week long in anticipation of the big game in Des Moines tonight. Valozek in deep concentration. 2-2 pitch. Fisted down the left field line, and Bear just inside the line for another hit. Calinado will cruise into second base with a double. And that one out of play as it goes down the left field line and bounds into the stands. And Calinado with a good start to this game. He's 2 for 2, homer and a double.
Well, a nice pitch made, but a very good swing in terms of adjusting to the pitch, and that basically is what baseball is all about, making some quick adjustments. You notice how quickly Calinado gets his hands in. He has to get him in to fight the ball off, and hits the little flare just inside or perhaps right on the line.
So with one down, the American Leaguers again threatening a runner in scoring position. Hanley Frias, bouncer toward Bird. Good arm as he guns that across the diamond to Todd Helton in time. Second out of the inning.
A little bit surprised at that play because Bird could have gotten the runner at third base. There was plenty of time to make the play. Not a good base running play by Calinado. Watch the ball come up for the shortstop. The runner's halfway to third. You have plenty of time to make the play over there, but decides to go to first base.
I think you knew it. David Bird realizing that was not the fundamental play. That's a cardinal sin of base running. Never try to advance from second to third with the ball in front of you. Chances of making it to third usually not too good.
Well, there's one of the reasons why, because there, even though it hasn't happened yet, but a chance for a wild pitch. That's a nice job by the catcher to stop that from happening and save a run at this point. But keep the runner at second base. Make the other team get a knock to score the run.
Solid defense by Eli Marrero behind the dish. Pitch from Valozek is outside low. Jason Wood up there, shortstop for Edmonton. 1 for 2 so far. Single to left center in the first, grounded out to third in the third inning for skipper Gary Jones. Now runner at third with 2 down. Inside corner for a strike. Jones and Wood helping. Good combination effort for Edmonton. A chance to set a PCL record for the fastest team to win 50 games. Edmonton won the PCL a year ago. Swung on a miss there by Wood. Record last year set by that same Trapper squad. 50 games, won 89 starts. Third-year manager for Edmonton, and quite a job up in Alberta. Runner at third base, pitch to Wood. Konerko has to back up on it. Reels back, fires, that gets away from Helton at first. The run will score. Wood will cruise into second base on the error. And the American League tacks on a run here off that error on the third baseman, Paul Konerko.
First baseman from the Clippers.
4-1 game.
Well, the initial move by Konerko, I think, was the right move because he knew he was going to get an ugly hop. So you try to play the ball into a good hop, which he did get. He just made a bad throw.
And Calinado able to score easily. 4th run for the American Leaguers. 4-1 game, 2 down, top of the 5th. Big Ivan Cruz is up again. Single to left in the 3rd inning and was called out on strikes against Dave Schwartzbaugh, the National League starter, back in the 1st. Talk about physical specimens. Cruz is another one. He is a big target at first base for his infielders and a menacing figure at the plate for opposing pitchers. 6'3", 210 pounds. Hitter's pitch here, 2-0. Ground ball toward first. Helton down. He'll take it himself. Makes the easy play for the 3rd out, but more damage done for the American Leaguers. Gary Jones' team has a 3-run lead, middle of the 5th from Des Moines. 5 of the 5th inning, 4-1. American League has the lead over the Nationals. AAA All-Star game from Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines. Dave Ryan with Jim Rooker, and a very special guest as we see the new pitcher, Ken Robinson of the Syracuse Sky Chiefs from the International League. We have the honor of being joined by Tommy Lasorda, now Vice President of the LA Dodgers. Tommy, thanks for joining us tonight.
I'm honored to be here with you, both.
Tell us what's going on with you these days. You're pretty busy still.
Yes, I am, really. I come in to speak at the luncheon here today. I was in Cleveland yesterday to see the All-Star game there, and then the day before that, I spoke at the AA All-Star luncheon. I'm getting to see some of our minor league teams play, and it's good to see the youngsters play. I really love that. I work with them. I worked with them in spring training and get the opportunity to go to the city and work with the players, so I'm really enjoying it.
Russ Morman leads things off 5th inning. He'll face Robinson. Robinson's first hitter of this AAA All-Star game. Ken Robinson just 5'9". They list him at 5'9", 170 pounds, but you can see against Morman, who is a big hitter up there. There's quite a difference. Smoke the center. That's going to be a base hit for Russ Morman. So he's on for the first time in this game, and his prior bat, he flew out to left. Well, Tommy, you certainly sound like you're just as busy as ever. Do you miss the field management? That's got to be the big question.
I miss it. I miss it so very, very much, really. You know, when you do it for 20 years like I did, and it's just not easy to make the transition, but I had to do it. I was concerned with my health, and I had to make a tough decision, but I feel I've made the right one. And then for me, you know, to be selected, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame has really made it outstanding for me. Just thinking about that. I can't believe it. I still cannot believe it.
Rumor's already out. They have the clock on you for your speech when you're inducted.
Boy.
I'll tell you what. I'll bet you there were a lot of guys who will speak longer than I do. What do you think of that?
Well, I'll believe it when it happens.
Well, you'll see
but
it.
hey, if you say so.
I've gotten the speeches of some of the guys.
Uh-huh.
And believe me.
You're not going to be able to match that, huh?
Nope, I don't think so.
Well, our belated congratulations to you, Tommy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Now, we've had a chance to watch Paul Konerko, a top prospect in the Dodgers chain, third baseman. What's his outlook right now?
Well, his outlook is that this guy is probably one of the premier hitters in the minor leagues today. And, we signed him as a catcher. And then we converted him. We converted him to first base. Then we decided to move him over to third base. But this guy's bat will carry him. This guy's going to be one real good hitter in the big leagues.
Just 21 years old. Jacob Cruz up there for the National Leaguers. Lost that down the left field line, but foul.
When you look at Konerko, he's got great hitting mechanics. He's got great stride. He's got good control of his body. He keeps his head right in on the ball. Doesn't pull that shoulder out. And he's some kind of hitter in my book.
Tommy, I kind of thought watching these guys, they have no fear. I mean, they're aggressive. Where years ago, it may be a little tentative, but it seems the younger players today, they go all out. Not that they didn't before, but you just see a more aggressive approach to hitting as in the past.
I don't agree with that.
Uh-oh.
I've had a lot of players that I managed in the minor leagues. I'm talking about the Yeager, Ferguson, and Garvey, and Buckner, and Valentine, and Lopes, and Say, Von Joshua, Lee Lacy, Jerry Royster. Those guys all play for me in the minor league. They can hit. Mm-hmm. They can really hit. You had to pitch against them. You know that.
Well, they never hit me.
You kidding me? You kidding me, Rook? I'm going to tell you something. There were a couple of times when we come into Pittsburgh and you were sick. You couldn't come out and pitch against us. You couldn't sleep all night knowing you had to pitch against our team.
No, that's not true.
I'll take that back. You were an outstanding competitor. I'll give you that. And an outstanding pitcher, I should say.
That's better. We got to have that kind of compliment going on. Cruz to left field. Play made by Clyburn out there in short left for another out in the inning. 4-1, 5th inning.
How tough is it for you now? I mean, Billy Russell going through a little bit of a rough time with some of his players. Do you get a chance to talk to him at all about stuff like that?
I've talked to him a few times, yes, and try to give him some advice and try to tell him, you know, certain things, but he's all right. He's going to be okay. Billy served his apprenticeship well, and he's going to do a good job.
Eli Marrero is up next for the National Leaguers. In the third inning, he walked and scored the only NL run on that sac fly hit by Tony Barron.
Hello.
Alan Zinner, a little wake-up call behind the dish. That's never easy to be a catcher, that's for sure. That's why you guys were pitchers, right?
Well, we couldn't catch. We were left-handed.
Yeah. Popped up toward first. That's actually going to drift out now toward right field, short right, in and make the catch there is Yamil Benitez for out number 2.
You know, when God created the world, he took first a bunch of people and made them left-handers, special people, and then he created the rest of the world. I want you to know that.
Exactly right, because everyone in the booth here happens to be a southpaw. So I'll agree with that wholeheartedly. So, Tommy, future for you in the same role with the Dodgers? Can you look down the line for us?
Well, you know, we're in the process right now, Peter selling the team. And no one knows who's going to really buy it. I mean, it's rumored that Murdoch is trying to buy the team, but he hasn't done it yet. And who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we're all hanging in limbo. And I feel certain that if he does buy it, he'll realize the tradition of the organization. It's been a very, very great organization. It's been industrious. It's been an organization of great tradition and history. And I think that it would be great to keep it that way.
David Berg up. 1-2, 2 down in the 5th inning. National Leaguers in need of a rally here. They do have Russ Moorman on at first, who led off this inning with a single, but a couple of flyouts from Cruz and Marrero. That's where we stand, 2 down in the inning.
National League is sitting right in the right spot now. They're not worried about them too much, and they're sitting there, and then all of a sudden you'll see them make their moves.
Plenty of time to go, Tommy. Swung on a miss. It won't happen here. Tommy Lasorda,
they won't.
Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time very much.
My pleasure. Do a good job.
Good seeing
Brooke,
you, Tommy.
always good seeing you. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Best of luck. 4-1 day. Welcome back, everyone. Fans, nearly 11,000 strong, being entertained by the mascots tonight. New defense all the way around. Roberto Pedagini will play in left. Jennings does stay in center. That's the lone remaining player from the opening of the game. Zuber in right. Simon Council first and second. Scott McLean at short. Aaron Boone, son of Bob Boone, and kind of a dark day in that family, unfortunately, as Bob Boone fired by the KC Royals today. Doug Creek from Phoenix, the new pitcher, left-hander.
Pretty good little fastball from Doug Creek, a change in a slider.
Randall Simon is at first base now from Richmond. Creek, 99 2/3 innings.
49 walks, 100 strikeouts, which leads the CL.
Top of the 6th inning. And Bubba Smith fouls that one off. Smith so far 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the first and grounded into a double play. 6-4-3 in the 3rd. Oh boy. That camera operator, it's a hazardous position. Usually the dangerous foul balls. That's our cameraman Brad down there along the right field line. Little did he know the mascot was concocting some kind of dastardly scheme behind him. Oh my. We need a timeout for Brad. Smith waves at that pitch. It was outside and high. Bobby Estalella is the new catcher from Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Receiving for Doug Creek. With Danny Clyburn on deck, he clobbered that big home run back in the 2nd inning. And also popped out the 1st and the 4th. A big offensive inning for the American Leaguers was in that 2nd when they scored 3 for the Giants in '96. Impressive appearance number for Doug Creek, 2nd on the team. Not a good start here, though, to try to get himself noticed and maybe back to 3-Com Park. A walk to Smith, now Clyburn up. Fist that one foul out of play. A long solo home run hit in the second inning by Danny Clyburn, and later in that same inning, Frank Catalanato hit a 2-run shot to account for 3 of the 4 runs scored by the American Leaguers. No one pitch to Clyburn. Off speed, high and inside.
Can be a little difficult trying to fool a guy like Danny Clyburn the way he spreads out at the plate. What that does, all you do is really pivot on your left foot, turn that foot out and just move the hips. Big cut comes up empty there, but again, keeping the weight back so he's able to see the ball long enough.
Clyburn, just 23 years old, very hot prospect in the Orioles chain from Lancaster, South Carolina. 3rd in the International League in doubles with 25 2-baggers in the first half of the season.
Nice
Way inside. Yeah, it was a good job behind the plate there by Estrella. Nate Minchie from the Sky Sox, Colorado Springs, getting ready down the left field line in the National League All-Star bullpen. You may see him in the next inning. It'll be the 7th. AL looking for more. Smith not exactly a speedster at first. He heads back there. Good pitch in the inside corner. Clyburn frozen for a strike 3 call. Clyburn goes down on strikes.
Nice job of working around the strike zone. And Clyburn, whether he was looking for another pitch or not, I'm not quite sure, but that ball, I think he's a little bit upset with himself. That ball, middle of the plate in, almost the identical pitch that Clyburn hit for a home run in the second inning off Schwartzbach.
So 1 down, Creek out of the stretch with Bubba at first base. Outside and high for a ball. Walking a pop-out so far for Alan Zinner. He's played the entire game. So a couple of guys have stayed in throughout. Jennings being one in center field from the Iowa Cubs for the National Leaguers. And Zinter, who, Jim, still has that tear in the pocket there. Let's look at Jennings, who is hoping to come through in front of the hometown fans. Zinner ready. Pop fly, foul territory down the right field line. 2 players converge, and good try by Zuber out there as he dives right on the mound. The bullpen down the right field line, but comes up empty. This goes as a long strike. He had Craig Counsell giving chase out there in the corner.
Well, a long way to go, obviously, and it's a very nice try. Wow, he got kicked in the back of the head. That's the reason that he wasn't feeling too happy about that, Zuber.
Just comes into the game, and that happens. That's a good effort out there in right field. See there at the top of that shot, standing room only in Des Moines tonight. A lot of enthusiasm surrounding this game. Fans pack in to see the AAA All-Stars in action. Nearly 12,000 on hand at Sec Taylor Stadium. Voted by Baseball America magazine as having the best view of any minor league park in the country, which is quite an honor. There's quite a few out there. Zinner will have himself a good view of first base as he earned himself a walk. Capital city of Iowa, Des Moines. A nice view of the skyline in the distance, sun setting. Des Moines and Raccoon Rivers meeting just behind the stadium here. Picturesque scenery for minor league baseball. 2 men on here. And just beyond the center field fence, that's the Capitol building here in Des Moines. Four-1 game, AL the lead. One strike pitch on the way. And Benitez is able to muscle that one out towards short left center. In comes Jennings diving, can't make the play. Bettigene will back it up and then toss that one into Aaron Boone. So long single for Yamil Benitez, and now the sacks are full of American leaguers with one down. Smith will stay at third base.
A couple of walks in the inning have gotten Freak into trouble. Now a broken bat, and Jennings comes up just a little bit short. You're seeing the outfielders really give it their all to try and make some plays here in the inning. They haven't been able to do it so far. Once again, though, the walks, those are the ones that will really come back and hurt you. American League trying to get the lumber moving.
Ordonez so far is over 2. We've talked a lot about his potential with the Chicago White Sox someday. First pitch to him is laced to right field. Hit pretty deep. Zuber will have a play. Tagging at third is Smith. Zuber's going to try to toss that one to third base to cut off the runner advancing, but he's not successful. Bubba Smith comes in on the sac fly from Maglio Ordonez, and the American League has extended its lead to a 5-1 game here in the 6th.
Second baseman, Frank Avenado.
Just as an example how walks can hurt you, just one hit in the inning and a run has scored, so you open yourself up to a lot of problems. Not that you're trying to walk anybody, but when it does happen, and 2 in the inning, could turn out to be a very big inning.
Now runners at the corners. With 2 men down. Zinner at third base, and Benitez stays parked at first. Catalanado, perhaps an early candidate for MVP of this game. Homer and a double, couple RBIs, 2 runs scored. Breaking ball foul off.
Well, if he gets a base hit right here, he's my vote, because it's lefty-lefty. He has a homer, a double if he gets a single, and who knows, he may get another shot at a 3-base hit for the cycle.
I think Gary Jones has to leave him in if that's the case.
Oh, yes.
No question. Another chance to deliver here for the Toledo Mudhen second baseman, outside and low. Good stop made by catcher Estalla. Second catcher so far for the National League. The Red Baron from Scranton Wilkes-Barre. 1-2 pitch. Again, off the fist, may have broken the bat. Short right field, could be trouble. Zuber in on the run, makes the catch for the 3rd out. But the American League tallies one more time. They scratch out a run, couple walks, and a sac fly from Ordonez. They lead 5-1, middle of the 6th from Des Moines. Plenty of good eats to be had here at Sec Taylor Stadium. Hot dogs. Had a good grilled chicken sandwich myself here, Jim. You happen to partake in that or a hamburger night?
No, I went for the cheeseburger.
Can't lose with that. Coming up on ESPN2, cart pole qualifying for the Medic Drug Grand Prix of Cleveland. It all comes your way on the Deuce. Saturday, 10:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 on the West Coast. Great racing action and excitement on ESPN2. Cart pole qualifying on the Deuce comes your way. First more baseball. AAA All-Star game from Des Moines. Craig Counsell, who is now playing second base for the National Leaguers from Colorado, will get his first bat. Colorado Springs Sky Sox takes a strike. Ken Robinson of the Syracuse Sky Chiefs still on the mound for the American League with a 5-1 lead. Well, Jim, this is the time, I think, for the National Leaguers to get something going.
Well, top of the order. It's getting late in the ball game. They have to get something happening here.
Tapper toward first. Sexton just into the game. Tosses over to a hustling Ken Robinson, who makes a nice play. Score that 3-1. And that'll be the first out of the inning.
Now playing left field.
Time to check in with a storyline with one down here in the 6th. And keep you up to date on what's happened so far. Kleinberg just mashed a home run in the 2nd. In fact, 2 homers were hit in that inning, one by Catalanato. He also had a double and a couple of RBIs. Just 2 hits so far for the National Leaguers.
A couple of sloppy little singles.
Yeah, that's not going to get the job done. One down here. And Roberto Pettigene will get his first at bat. He has seen some time with the New York Mets. Now playing with the Norfolk Tides, AAA of New York. He's moved into left field, replacing Tony Barron. This is first at bat. Big offensive numbers. Check out the RBIs, 72 so far. Fastball high and outside. Ken Robinson, lone Syracuse representative, trying to keep this American League lead intact. That one ripped by Pettigene, well foul, but smoked down the right field line out of play.
That's what you like to see. Just step in there and let her rip.
Got nothing to lose in this game.
Hey, that's what the fans want to see. They want to see some balls hammered here tonight. Being a former pitcher, I really can't go along with it, but I'm just for the fans' sake tonight.
For the
why
fans'
not?
sake, let's have some, huh?
Yes, it doesn't count. It might hurt the pride a little bit, but throw it in there and challenge the hitter.
Pettigene pops that one skyward. Rabi giving a look down the third base line and hooks back in and being able to make the play just outside the tarp. Second out of the 6th inning, and the National Leaguers just completely shut down. Pettigene pops out to third.
Robin Jennings.
So Robin Jennings for the Iowa Cubs will come up one more time. So far, he's come up empty. And the first flew out deep to left. Tony Barron, left fielder. That's Clyburn actually made the play in that inning, and then grounded out to short in the 4th. Fastball a bit high and outside.
Getting that one up to 86, you see. And mentioned Robinson not real big, but has a decent fastball.
Off-speed delivery high and away. Jennings has some pop. We were thinking home run here to try to get the National Leaguers back in this game. Had a career-high 18 home runs for the Iowa Cubs last year. Low and inside. Count moves to 3-0 on Robin Jennings. At this point, desperately trying to get something going for the National Leaguers. Big swing there. He was definitely going for the downs on the 3-0 pitch. Got the green light from his own manager, Tim Johnson.
Hey, they're trying to do anything they can to score a run or runs.
Line drive to right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So Jennings thrills the hometown crowd with a bloop single to right with 2 down. He's on.
I think he caught it a little bit on the end of the bat. Yeah, didn't get real good wood on the ball, and maybe fortunate for Jennings that is the case. A little more wood might have resulted in an out, but he'll take the base hit.
Played on one hop out there by Ryan Redmanovich. He is the new right fielder now for the American Leaguers. Aaron Boone, the Indianapolis Indians, good numbers as well. There's a late add to this National League All-Star lineup. Several switches made, some players being injured, and some like Todd Green of Vancouver called up by the Anaheim Angels. Two down, Ken Robinson. He's got Jennings to worry about at first base. Big Aaron Boone with a chance to get the NL All-Stars back in the game. National League skipper Tim Johnson would love to see a rally. Two-strike pitch, swung on and missed, and he will not see it here. Now, wait a minute. May have been catcher interference. That's catcher interference is the call. So that'll be an error on the catcher. And a really tough break for the American Leaguers. It was swinging strike 3 from Boone.
Well, you really can't see it there. Maybe this angle will show, but many times you'll see the bat. And in this case, the umpire may have heard the bat hit the glove. You really could not see it very well. Dave, that's 2 games in a row. We did a game the other day in Milwaukee
That's
where
right.
we
We had
thought
the same thing.
that was rather obvious. The catcher's glove was almost torn off his hand.
Here, not quite so blatant, but it's a tough break nonetheless for Creighton Gubanich, a new catcher from the American League from the Tucson Toros. Here's Randall Simon from Richmond, now playing first base, replacing Yvonne Cruz from Columbus. Simon officially hails from the Netherlands, but actually is from the same set of islands as is Andrew Jones from the Atlanta Braves. Kind of half swing at that. Actually, that may have hit him as well. Let's see. Now the ball goes beyond the catcher, and Jennings comes in to score on a wild play to make it a 5-2 game. I have to sort this mess out. Things have not gone well for Creighton Gubanich behind the plate for the American Leaguers.
Well, he didn't have much of a shot there. You have quite a play, perhaps a wild pitch, an error. Well, here's the first part of it. Gubanich tries to block the ball. It looked like it went right through the catcher's legs, and at this point, he doesn't really have a very good angle. You see the ball hit the runner. So the best thing to do in a situation like that, most likely, is hang on to the ball.
First plate appearance now for Ron Wright, infielder from the Calgary Cannons, the Pittsburgh Pirates' top farm club of the PCL. He'll get his first bat. 307 average, and surprise, surprise, good power numbers. Just about everyone who's come up has had that trait connected with him in this game. Tough break for Ken Robinson, who appeared to be out of the inning against Boone, had the swinging third strike for what looked like the third out, but catcher interference against Gubanich. That put Boone on base, and then that ball getting away from Gubanich and the swinging miss from Simon a moment ago, able to score Jennings. Simon and Boone now aboard, still 2 outs in what has become a long 6th inning.
Wright was called up for the Pirates in the first game he played. Came up with an injury, went on the disabled list, has a chance to step in Pittsburgh in the future and add some power to that lineup from the right side.
Just 21 years old, and he certainly would fit in with the mix that Gene Lamont has put together there in Pittsburgh. A lot of young, talented players, and they've been impressive in the first half of the year. Bouncer to second, easy play there to retire the side. So finally, the American Leaguers are out of trouble, but 1 run does score on some sloppy defensive play. Heading into the top of the 7th inning. Welcome back, everyone. AAA All-Star Game here on ESPN2. Dave Ryan alongside Jim Rooker. Glad you could join us. And we'll watch a new pitcher in action. Nate Minchie from Colorado Springs. Sky Sox, who leads the PCL with 11 wins at the All-Star break. And he is a big one. Well, 6'7", 225 pounds.
I was going to say, Sky could be his nickname.
Sure. Facing Hanley Frias, top of the order for the American Leaguers. Frias has gone the whole way. And so far is 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs in the 2nd and 5th, and he flew out to short left in the 1st. Ground ball right toward Minchie. Knocks it down and is able to regain and fires over to Simon in time for the first out of the 7th. Let's look at the Major League alumni who played in last night's All-Star game. The AAA alumni. Sandy Alomar Jr. tops the list, played in the AAA game, 80-89. Last night's MVP in Cleveland. Steve Finley, Jones, look at these stars. Lopez had a home run last night at the Jake. Martinez and Martinez. Denny Nagel from Atlanta. Piazza we talked about from Albuquerque in '92. Rosado, game-winning pitcher last night from Omaha. Ultimately ended up in Kansas City.
And you notice there with Sandy Alomar Jr., 88 and 89. Benito Santiago was the catcher in San Diego at the time. So there was an awful lot of talent there. It was obvious. So the trade was made. Alomar moving on to the Indians. That was very much to his benefit.
Raby's first at bat. Almost a carbon copy of the last at bat as it's a hot shot right up the box. Minchie just knocks it down. Can't do much more with it. Throw to Simon way late. So Raby is on with an infield single. With one down here in the 7th.
Number 52, Richie Sexson.
6'7", and sometimes hard to get into position, even though it looked like on that move Minchie almost able to flag it down. From that point on, really couldn't recuperate in time to make the play. Not real quick around the mound. If it's back at him, he has a chance. Otherwise, not much.
Speaking of big, here's Richie Sexson, the next hitter for the American League. So we got a 6'7" pitcher against the 6'6" hitter. Sexson 6'6", 205 from the Buffalo Bisons. Top affiliate of the Cleveland Indians. Pitch outside, 86 miles an hour from Nate Minchie. 1-1 count of 5-2 game. American League on top. And looking for more with Raby at first. That breeze has picked up a bit, and while still blowing out to left, swirling a bit more as well. See maybe if Sexson can get into one here. Inside low.
Usually pitchers of size like Minchie have trouble getting the ball down, and Sexson has a huge strike zone.
Sexson drives this one to right center. Over as Zuber to his right, able to put it away for the second out of this 7th inning. 2 down.
And the point that I was trying to make was it just appeared that Minchie was trying to force the ball down in the strike zone. Sometimes when you do that, you lose a little bit of velocity. That can be a little misleading. You don't always have to pitch down. Some pitchers are very successful. John Smoltz, for example, highly successful at pitching up. And of course, you have to have a pretty good fastball to be able to do that.
Need the compliment, one or the other, right?
Here's Bubba.
Big Bubba. Walking a run. He's gone the whole way as the DH for the American Leaguers. Scored in the 6th. Also grounded into the double play. Fisted foul. A DP ground out. 6-4-3 back in the 3rd inning. From the Oklahoma City 89ers. Texas Rangers top affiliate, way inside, nearly grazed the shoulder.
Another thing to watch with Minchie, and I would guarantee when and if he gets to the big league level, he's going to have to cut down on his delivery. 6'7", really spreads out on the mound, so you can get a pretty good jump on a pitcher like that.
Smith waves at that one and comes up empty. Struck out again is Big Bubba Smith for the 2nd time in this game. Middle of the 7th from Des Moines. National Leaguers need a rally. They're down by 3. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning for the AAA All-Star Game. Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines. Dave Ryan with Jim Rooker. 5-2 American League has the lead. And new pitcher in the game is Gary Hott from the Edmonton Trappers. A 1-1 record this year so far. Then pretty good ERA, 11 saves. One thing I noticed, Jim, looking at the stats of these two rosters, the American League has nearly 40 total saves among its pitchers. The National League, just 7. And those are all from Mark Kroon of Las Vegas. A lot of good relievers in this American League staff.
And right now, they're doing a fine job.
Gary Hott, 11 saves on his own this season.
Kind of a herky-jerky motion. You watch him throw the ball. Nothing exceptional in terms of a fastball. He does a good job of moving the ball around, especially his fastball. You use a curve and a changeup.
John Zuber's first at bat. From Scranton Wilkes-Barre, lifted down the left field line. Clyburn along the line there will make the catch. Now check that. That is not Clyburn. We have a new left fielder. Derek White has taken over and left, number 42.
Number 26.
Well, the offensive numbers, batting average, American Association, and the home run per team. Interesting numbers to look at. We know the PCL is traditionally the big homer.
Exactly. It's always been a hitter's league. So if you, as a pitcher, if you can come out of there alive, you're doing a pretty good job.
Right. So Hot next up now, working to the catcher Estalella from Scranton Wilkes-Barre, second straight Red Baron to hit in this inning after Zuber flew out to White in left. One down, seventh inning. Good breaking ball, catches the inside corner of the plate. Took something off that one. Estalella able to loft that out towards center and not caught there. Trapped in center field. That's going to be a base hit for Estalella. Now Bobby is on. Avon trying to make the grab out there in center. Short hopped it.
Well, that's a good job by the umpire getting out there to get a good look at the ball. You'll see the center fielder come on and make the dive and try to get the glove in there, but doesn't quite do it. And the umpire does a nice job by hustling out there, and he gets a little bit closer, so he'll get a good look at the play.
Good effort by Bruce Avon of Buffalo to make that grab in center. And Scott McLean will get his first at bat from the Norfolk Tides. Came up in the Baltimore Orioles chain as a shortstop. That is not the position you want to be with a guy named Cal Ripken Jr. playing there. And also at third base when Cal made that switch. So McLean then went over to the Mets organization, where he's got a much better chance of someday cracking the lineup. Here's another big one as well. 6'3", 210 pounds.
Hi, Scotty.
Saw Gary Jones enjoying what he's seeing. Ron Wattis from Phoenix, manager of the Firebirds there. Third base coach of the National Leaguers. McLean rips this one to left field. That'll drop for a base hit. White overruns the ball. Estalella will skip in at third base easily. Ball getting away. Estalella is going to try to score. Throw from 6 and not in time. And the National Leaguers able to grind out a run on some sloppy defensive play from the American League Stars. It's a 5-3 game.
Good hustle. That's what speed can do, and heads-up play as well. Derek White coming on and bobbles the play. See McLean with the base hit. White, as he comes on, overruns the ball, and Avon, the center fielder, gets it in. The ball gets away from the second baseman. Here's the play at the plate, and as you see, the catcher tries to block the runner, the slide at the plate. The catcher tries to get the left leg down, but it just didn't do the job.
Well, he's pleased. Good effort on the base paths to score the third run of the night for the National Leaguers. We'll make this a game again.
This is like a spring training game. There are players everywhere.
Oh, wow. Our scorecards are a mess. Believe me. What we can now read of them. Craig Counsell is up again, top of the National League order. Good off-speed pitch from Hott. And Counsell way behind that one. Strikeout in his first at bat. The Colorado Springs Sky Sox with a runner at first. Ground ball ripped foul down the first base line. You're seeing what NL skipper Tim Johnson sees. What do you think, Jim? These skippers want to win?
I think so, especially for Tim Johnson and the people here. It's like we said earlier, everybody here wants to have a good time, but there's still that competition.
McLean running. This one ripped by Council, fouled deep down the right field line, but out of play.
Well, we said earlier you wouldn't see too much going on in terms of running the bases, hit and run, stealing like that, because you want to let everybody, give everybody a chance to hit. But now the National League back in the game, so Johnson trying to create something here. Moving the runner.
Council having a very good year for Colorado Springs, .335 with 4 home runs. And he has knocked in 58. After spending most of last year on the disabled list. Craig Council suffering through a stress fracture of the shin. That sounds mighty painful. It was a big part of their title run, though, in Colorado Springs in '95 when they won the PCL championship. Big rally over Salt Lake. Ground ball towards second base. Short for 1. Frias' throw is in time to Sexton for a double play. Able to get the speedy Craig Council to bounce into that twin killing. Big play for the American League. They lead by 2. Big defensive play by the American League helps them get out of that last inning, Jim.
Well, it takes such great timing to make a play like this. And here's a couple of guys that don't play with each other. But on this particular play, they really put it together. Catalanato getting the ball quickly to Henley Frias, and they turn it at second. Great double play.
And Jim, coming up in the news, WNBA action. The Charlotte Sting against the New York Liberty tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern time, 4:30 on the West Coast. Charlotte led by Andrea Stinson. Rebecca Lobo leads the charge for the New York Liberty. 12.5 points, over 7 rebounds a game.
Thank you, Sport.
Now, maybe the MVP. He has played very well in this game today. From Toledo. And turning that double play well a moment ago. Frank Catalanato. White up in his first at bat. Bouncer toward McLean, and he fires over to Simon in time for the first out.
By the way, it was nice to see Tommy Lasorda again, and he does look great. And to me, that's the thing about playing baseball. You go through the years, you see a bunch of guys, fellows you haven't seen in a while. In fact, I just came from Cooperstown, Dave, and I spent some time there with Jerry Moses and Gene Freese, Dick Radich, John Warden, and Gary Bell. Our Major League Alumni Association was there to raise money for the Salvation Army, and we just had a wonderful weekend. But seeing all these guys, and you come across Tommy Lasorda again, who is the ambassador to baseball, and you notice he didn't miss the chance to get as much in as he could about his Dodgers.
No, absolutely not. So Gary Jones' team still has the 2-run lead. Seen the NL kind of chip away over the last couple of innings with single runs in the 6th and 7th to make this a game again. Creighton Gubanic did not fare well defensively. In the second inning, he was out there. Had a catcher's interference that went for an error. Waves at that off-speed pitch from Nate Minchie for a strike. Mark Kroon is up now from Las Vegas. Las Vegas Stars, top minor league team of the San Diego Padres. He is ready to go if needed. May see him in the next inning. Called strike 3. Gubanic frozen on that pitch right in the outside corner.
One of those kinds of evenings. Look at the catcher sliding outside. Pitch right there. Good job. Most of the time, the pitcher-catcher work together well like that. You give the target as a catcher, and even if you're a little bit off the plate, the pitcher hits the glove, they'll get the call.
That fan very excited to get a souvenir. Overflow crowd at Sec Taylor Stadium tonight. From the Salt Lake Buzz, Ryan Radmanovich. Salt Lake, top affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. Ryan Radmanovich had one stretch this year where out of 24 hits, 10 of those were home runs. Pop foul out of play.
And I still think hitters are more aggressive today than all of those fellows that Lasorda said he had.
You agree to disagree?
I agree to disagree, because some of them he mentioned couldn't hit in the big leagues. They hit in the minor leagues, but they didn't hit in the big leagues.
Thanks to guys like you.
Well, try to do my share.
Sure, you did.
See, I'm saying that now because Tommy's not here to defend himself.
Exactly, because you know he would.
You cannot win the war of words with Tommy Lasorda.
Breaking ball, Radmanovich goes down swinging. Now the American League, nothing across in the 8th. National League trails by 2. 2 more chances to at least tie this game up from Des Moines. More coming up on the... To the bottom of the 8th we go. American Leaguers still a 5-3 lead on the National League All-Star games. AAA All-Star action from Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines. Berto Pettigene for the Norfolk Tides will lead things off in the home 8th. And the new pitcher in the game, Jeff Darwin from the Nashville Sounds, White Sox top minor league affiliate. Already established a career high. Pettigene establishes himself as he laces a single right up the middle. He's on to lead things off here in the 8th.
Darwin went through a stretch, well, actually more than a stretch this year. He hasn't allowed an inherited runner to score this season, so doing quite a job in Nashville.
Before this year, his career high in saves was 12 for Tacoma in '95. And he was originally a Mariners draft choice, 13th round, 1988 free agent draft. He did appear last year with the White Sox 22 times in relief at an 0-1 record, 2.93 ERA at the big league level. Here's Robin Jennings of the Iowa Cubs. He's going to stay in the game, looks like the whole way through. Did have a single in his last at bat to right field. Also grounded out to short and flew out deep to left in first. The pitch gets away from Jeff Darwin of Nashville. Darwin relieving Ken Robinson of Syracuse. 1-1 pitch to him is a bit outside and low, so now hitter's count for Robin Jennings with 1 on. And Jennings representing the tying run. It's also something a bit unusual. You see in this type of exhibition affair as players like Cruz, you see acting as a first base coach. Go out there for a frame or two. Count moves to 3-1 on Robin Jennings. Think Cruz is going through any signals there at first base?
Well, I'm not quite sure. He may be going over asking the base runner, what am I supposed to do as a coach?
Used to being on the base itself. Blair hit toward left. White in a couple steps able to make the easy catch for the first out of the inning. Brings up National League third baseman Aaron Boone from Indianapolis.
Up on third base, Aaron Boone.
Boone reached on an error in the 6th, part of the inning where they did chip out 1 run on partially the sloppy defensive play of Creighton Gabanich behind the plate. Catcher for the American Leaguers. A little bit of a tough debut coming into the game. Pitch to Aaron Boone, catches the outside corner for a strike. Quick toss over, and Pettigene is back easily. We're joined now by Marv Foley in the dugout. Marv, how's it going down there in the AL dugout these days?
It's going good. Right now we're holding on to a 2-run lead, and we got our ace out there, Jeff Darwin, looks good for us. That ball's foul over.
Well, Marv Foley called that one. Indeed, it is foul.
Nice angle down there.
He had a better look at it than we did.
That's right, I had a beat right on it.
Marv, what do you do when you get these guys in a game like this that basically aren't your pitchers? What do you tell them?
Well, you know, we just throwing strikes, pitch ahead, relax, I think is the key. Most of these guys are a little nervous getting out here you know, national TV, big audience representing their organization. We just need to have them relax and throw strikes, pitch ahead in the count, and they'll be fine.
1-2 delivery now from Darwin to Boone. It's fouled straight back. Marv, you were here with the Cubs in Iowa, leading them to a franchise record 85 wins. A lot of enthusiasm in Des Moines surrounding this game this week.
Great baseball town. 1993, I was here, won a championship with an outstanding team. Great town, great support, good place to be, and I tell you, I'm really lucky and happy to be back here for this event tonight.
1-2 pitch to Boone. Pops straight up. That will be playable. Sexton in foul ground. Makes the catch for out number 2. And Marv, you have a chance to set quite a record, an opportunity to win a 3rd title, AAA level, and become the only person to ever do that.
Well, that's that's in the back of my mind from time to time. I won a championship or managed a team that won a championship in the Pacific Coast League Vancouver in '89, here in '93, and this year in Rochester for my 3rd year. We've got a good club there. We're presently in 1st place, so if we can keep it going, we've got an outstanding pitching staff, good defensive club there. So if the Baltimore Orioles stay healthy, who knows? We keep our same guys. Maybe we'll have a shot at another title.
Try to become the first ever skipper to win the Triple Crown in AAA. Not bad.
That'd be nice.
Marv, thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, thanks for having me. Thank you.
5-3 game here, 2 down. Simon up with a chance to get his team back in this game. That's a bouncer foul on the first base line. Things still going well for Gary Jones, manager of the American League and the Edmonton Trappers. AAA Manager of the Year in '96 and led the Southern League Huntsville team in AA to a title in that loop back in 1994. He's had quite a bit of success managing at the minor league level.
You don't hear.
Now the manager's also a chance to kind of display their wares, and certainly in hopes of getting that big opportunity at the big league level. And Gary Jones told us basically kind of like a player. You just have to get your job done, but you notice the opportunities when jobs become open. Two down to the 8th. Pettigene led off this inning with a single to get himself on. Number 2 after that, they've not been able to come through. Simon, bouncer up the middle, good play. Frias ranging to his left, fires to Sexton in time for the 3rd out of the inning. So 8 now complete from Des Moines. Frias and the American Leaguers have a 2-run lead. 9th inning action comes up from Sec Taylor. We head to the 9th inning from Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines. 5-3 lead for the American Leaguers.
That is nice.
We appreciate the support. And coming up on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball Game of the Week, the majors are back in action after the All-Star break, and we've got it for you July 13th, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 on the West Coast. Todd Hundley didn't play in that All-Star game because of injury. Same went for Kenny Lofton of the Atlanta Braves. It's intra-league action. The Mets, led by Olerud and Hundley, playing very well. A new pitcher on the mound for the National Leaguers, Mark Kroon from the Bronx, New York City. Pitching for the Las Vegas Stars this year. 7 saves to his credit. And as we mentioned, the only NL hurler on this All-Star roster who has any saves heading into this game so far this season. Other guys, mostly starters.
Well, and he's mostly fastballs. The old number 32, Sandy Koufax. Steve Carlton from the other side. 34 strikeouts, 8 walk ratio for Mark Kroon. So he's a guy that doesn't put too many on base for free and takes the ball out of play completely many times.
Pretty good numbers. Bruce Saban from Buffalo. Bison's will lead things off, top of the 9th inning. Ailes got that 2-run lead. Foul tipped and out of play. 54 RBIs, not bad. More power numbers coming at you here in this AAA All-Star game tonight. 30th round draft pick, June '94 free agent draft by the Cleveland Indians. Fastball out of the strike zone, count 1-1 on Bruce Avon. Ranked second last year in the Eastern League in runs scored, had 91 for the Kent-Akron team in the Cleveland chain. Inside kind of handcuffed him, swung through it. 1-2. Kroon ready, 1-2 delivery. Even down on strikes.
Nice job of mixing that good fastball with the off-speed pitch.
Second baseman from the Toledo Buckheads, Frank.
Just getting Avon well out in front, like a tight little slider. Avon tries to reach out and just foul it off, but couldn't catch up to it.
Now one of the few players who's gone the entire way. Catalanato, who could be this AAA All-Star MVP, quite possibly a home run in the second, also doubled and scored a run in the 5th inning. Every time he's been retired, came in the 6th, and he flew out to right field. Pop fly, foul ground. Boone gives a look, but it'll go out of play. 3 rows into the seats. 2 strikes now the count to Frank Catalanato from Toledo. .23 years old from Smithtown, New York on Long Island. 10th round pick from the Tigers back in 1992. Off-speed delivery just out of the strike zone.
How did he let that one go?
Good question. Glad to still be up there and not punched out by home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman of the American Association. Fly ball pretty deep to left, but very playable and put away by Roberto Pettigene. 2 down, top of the 9th.
Shortstop from Oklahoma City, Hanley Frias.
So the other regular who stayed the whole way through is Hanley Frias from Oklahoma City. The 89er shortstop, as so far in this game, 4 bats, not reached base. 0 for 4. Fastball just outside. Flew out to short left in the 1st. Grounded out right back to the first baseman and pitcher play in the 2nd. Grounded short in the 5th and grounded to the pitcher in the 7th inning. One of the few players in this game not with a 300 average or a huge RBI stat. He is here because of quickness and very good defense.
Well, that double play they made an inning or so ago, indication of what defense can do for you.
We talked about the speed. 3rd in the American Association in stolen bases, has 19 thefts this year. Good prospect for Texas. Fly ball toward left. Pettigene was playing him perfectly and makes the easy catch. Middle of the 9th from Des Moines. One more chance for the National Leaguers on their home turf, down by 2 to the Ailes Stars. We've got more coming up. Bottom of the 9th inning action from Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines, Iowa. 5-3 game. Dave Ryan with Jim Rooker and another special guest from the National League dugout. Skipper himself, Tim Johnson. Tim, one more crack at this thing. How's it going down there?
That's what we got. We got one more crack. We got the guys that hopefully can do it and get maybe 3 runs.
Tim, it's kind of tough when you get down early like that, and of course you want to let your guys go out and have a good time and swing the bat. In a sense, you might not really get to manage like you want to.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you can in these games because, you know, they don't know your signs. You know, a lot of times you'll go 3-1 automatic and then 3-2, and here, you know, you're just not doing it because a lot of the players just aren't accustomed to you. And of course, I'm not accustomed to what some of these guys can do, whether they can run if they're good runners or not. You try to get your homework done on them, but sometimes it's tough.
Tim, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the rally here.
Okay, I appreciate it.
No problem. Tom Quinlan is up now from Colorado Springs. Quinlan, a late add to the NL roster. Came up in the Toronto Blue Jays chain. Tries to hold off on that off-speed delivery. Appeal to Ray DeMuro from the PCL first base umpire, and count 2-1 on Tom Quinlan. He's from Minnesota, was an outstanding high school football quarterback. Big swing and a miss there, and was recruited by Bobby Bowden at Florida State to play quarterback. And there was a time last year when things weren't working well for him. He was at AAA, the Blue Jays in Syracuse. He was seriously thinking of taking up Bobby Bowden in a late offer into his late 20s to play college football. Still had the eligibility. He's still hacking away AAA ball this year, at least for one more season. Two and two. Eddie Galliard is into the game now, trying to close things out for the American League. And that'll do it for Gary Jones. He's used the entire staff. Galliard's delivery to tall Tom Quinlan, as they used to call him. Going up through that Blue Jays chain, ground ball to short, and he's retired for one down the ninth.
Tom Zuber.
Hanley Frias and Carlinato, the middle infield, have gone all the way for Gary Jones' team in this All-Star Classic, 10th annual AAA All-Star game. Very solid defensively. And Zuber will try to get things going for the NL team down to just 2 outs. And looking at a 2-run deficit from Des Moines tonight. It's 1-0. You see the crowd hanging in there. There's a reason. There's a huge fireworks show planned for right after the game. And most of the fans are going to stick around for that, I'm sure. You gonna stay and watch, Jim?
I could probably catch it over my shoulder. Beat the crowd.
There you go. Zuber, a ground ball, and Catalano at second base. Easy play over to Sexton, and they are 2 down in the ninth. Last gasp now for the National Leaguers, down by 2.
Catcher Bobby Estalella.
Estalella represent the final chance now for the NL squad. Now, Jim, what do you think? Chance to see a lot of up-and-coming prospects, exciting players who will very soon be thrilling major league stadiums.
Yeah, I think it's terrific. There's a lot of talent here tonight, and you know all of these guys watched the game last night, so they got the bug and wanted to come out and do the best they can. I mean, this is great exposure for these youngsters.
Bobby Estalella. Scranton Wilkes-Barre does have 10 homers and 45 RBIs to his credit heading into the All-Star break for the Red Barons, so a little pop to his bat. Got on base, scored a run in his last time up. Some shaky defense from the American Leaguers. NL chipped away with a couple runs in the 6th and the 7th, but since then have been shut down by Darwin and now by Galliard, and that'll do it. Estalella is struck out, and the American Leaguers come away with a victory. Some fireworks going off already. That's certainly the celebration mode for Gary Jones from the Edmonton Trappers and the American League as they win it 5-3. AAA All-Star game. The American Leaguers take it. More coming up right here on ESPN2.
Running pitcher tonight was the American League Association leads.
5-3, American League takes it over the National League tonight from Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines, Iowa. Pretty quick game, Jim Rooker. We thought we might see that in the All-Star Classic. 2 hours, 32 minutes tonight.
Well, you have the best of the best in AAA. The guys that swing the bat, the pitchers that throw the ball over the plate. So, not surprising. Good ball game.
10th annual Classic, and just a brief one-game win streak for the NL. So the American Leaguers getting back into the win column after last year's National League win in Salt Lake City. The game next year will go to Harbor Park down in Norfolk, Virginia, home of the Norfolk Tides. And I'm sure the fans down there will enjoy as much as they did up here, Jim.
Well, I'm sure a lot of those people were watching this game tonight. So whether you can take something out of the a chapter out of what you saw here tonight is a possibility, but you always look ahead to having a great time. I'm sure those people are really looking forward to the game next year.
Now we have 3 All-Star MVPs that are named, one from each league, the American Association, the IL, and the Pacific Coast League. There's one, Frank Catalano from the International League from Toledo. Great job tonight, Frank. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us about how exciting it must be to play in this game. You got national TV audience, the big Major League All-Star game going last night. You guys must have been pumped out there.
Oh, it's great. I mean, anytime you can come out and play with guys of this caliber, it's really special. And I got my family in the stands tonight, so it makes it extra special.
Hey, it's always nice to hit a home run, but I'm a pitcher, so I love defense. You guys turned a whale of a double play in the 7th inning.
Yeah, I mean, I fed it to Hanley a little low, but he was still able to turn it.
And it's not easy when you're, I mean, this is the guy you play with every day, so you kind of have to learn each other very quickly.
Exactly. I mean, we really didn't get a chance to turn double plays during batting practice today, so you just kind of feel them out. It worked out okay.
Now, Frank, the home run, 2nd inning. Take us through that. A deep shot off Dave Schwartzbach.
I'll tell you what, I was really lucky to hit that home run because I was down 3-0, and the next 2 pitches he threw to me, I thought they were off the plate. I was happy that Bruce called them strikes, but I think I probably should have been on first base, and I really got lucky, and the 3-2 pitch, he threw me a sinker, and I was able to hit it out of the ballpark.
Frank Catalano from Toledo, the International League MVP of tonight's game. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, good luck second half of the season for Toledo. So exciting action tonight. Most of the fans will hang around here for a fireworks display, which is coming up from Sec Taylor Stadium. Unfortunately, we can't stay to watch that ourselves. We're out of time. It's a 5-3 American League victory tonight. 3 MVPs, 1 to Ordonez, 1 to Catalano, and 1 to Nate Minchie, the National League from Colorado Springs. So again, the final score from Sec Taylor Stadium in Des Moines, it's a 5-3 American League. Coming up next, Major League Baseball's greatest home runs here on ESPN2. Now from Jim Rooker, the entire ESPN2 crew, this is Dave Ryan saying so long, everybody.